Hello everybody and welcome back to RogueTech, where we have a little bit of repair work to do here. This is pretty much just armor work. We're going to tick forward, let that happen, and then we're going to deploy one more time before this financial report. So let's go ahead and let that happen. A few extra hands, huh? Temporary additions to our mech bay staff? Hire the best you can afford. Do it. 80,000 for a +4 tech point boost for 14 days. Okay. Now, we're a little bit upset that we're only going to be using them on the one mech bay right now. But that's okay. There we go. We'll hop into the mech bay, make sure that everything is good to go. It should be. The Mauler and the Awesome are underweight. That's expected, so that is just fine. We'll hop over to the barracks here and see if anybody needs any promotions. We are starting to get pretty close to having everybody good to go.
Waiting for orders.
But no, nobody needs promotions, so okay, let's just get out of here. We're going to run something. The question is what? Good salvage on this recovery mission. There's also an assassinate mission here. I mean, that's 2.2 million. I don't want to take a travel contract. 2.6 million on this capture base. The capture base is likely going to be 3 enemy lances to deal with. I'm kind of leaning towards doing this assassination. Supporting forces may send out an escort unit. That sounds pretty good, actually. So let's go ahead and do that. Is there a free priority salvage here? Arguably, yes, right here. So we could just sit like something like this. We're already good for this financial report. So this is just kind of gravy. Let's go ahead and do it. We're going to bring all of our mechs and mech warriors as is. Of course, we're leaving these guys at home for right now. Yes, the Awesome and the Mauler are underweight. We're aware. Darius is a moron. We're going to confirm. Like, Darius thinks this is less than half of the strength that we need for this mission. Darius is a complete and total idiot. So, that's not going to be a thing. The loading screen for the loading screen took a little while to load there. So, RogueTech might get a little spicy here. We'll see. That's not usually what that means. That just usually means that RogueTech is being a little bit on the slow side. So, I mean, I'm reasonably content with where most of our mechs are sitting right now. The hit odds on the Madcat Mark II are generally substantially lower than that of the Salamander, and of course the reason for that is I'm pretty sure mech quirks. I'd have to take a look at the mech quirks, but I'm pretty sure that's the reason there. The Madcat is just not as well suited for it. The Awesome is, I feel, just generally underwhelming with its dual heavy PPCs. Its damage output is just not amazing. But for now, we need to defeat the Elite Mech Warrior and escape. An Elite Mech Warrior has been deployed to take command of Lyran forces in this system. We need a skilled mercenary force to remove this mech warrior before they reach their command, while they're only lightly escorted. Every downed mech will help our cause, so there will be a bonus for complete destruction of the target's supporting forces. Additionally, the mech warrior's command may send out an escort unit to meet them. Expect enemy reinforcements once you engage. The Lyran mech warrior is headed to a major military compound on Carver, where they'll take command of a company-sized mech force and become untouchable. They're en route to the encampment, but until they... We can't scroll just yet. Until they arrive, they're vulnerable. Fantastic. Let's do this. Ooh, this is an awkward place to drop. Okay. Military units in that vicinity. We believe that's the objective. Take them out and head for the evac zone. Okay. So there's certainly going to be some form of ambush here. I can tell you that right now. There are enemy units right up here on this ridge. And potentially also up here on this ridge. We are going to be ambushed here. Okay. So if we're going to be ambushed, we're going to just drop in over here. This may take a while to run up the road to where we need to go. But honestly, since it is roaded most of the way, we should be okay. Be able to make our way up there fairly quickly. Let's see what their ambush force looks like. Yeah, they've got a support lance here.
Keep your eyes peeled, Commander. This looks like an ideal place for an ambush.
Yeah, don't say. Well, that's rude. The Salamander's okay for now. There's an avatar literally, like, they're spawning literally right on us.
They're getting the angle on me.
Continuing to focus on the Salamander there, they've already broken the rear armor. We haven't gotten a chance to respond to this, and we didn't really have anywhere else where we could land. So this is just RogueTech screwing us over. There's a Mjolnir here, and there's also a Berserker here. They're hitting the Salamander, but this is front arc. That's okay. No big deal there. This is phase 16 and phase 17. We don't get a chance to respond to either of these before they move. They might just straight up kill our Salamander here.
I'm being flanked.
They went for the awesome instead. Okay, that's fine.
Light damage.
They should have gone for the Salamander. They could have straight up killed it. Okay, that's front arc. We don't care. And actually, it all missed, so that's completely fine. And going for the Orion. Okay, that's irrelevant as well. But yeah, this is concerning, and they could still go with the Mjolnir to go after that CT. They back off to about the correct position. They go for it side arc. Okay, so the Salamander took a bit of a walloping there, but it's okay. It's okay. Who gets to move next? It is the Mauler. To that end. Want to see what our potential options are here. That's not exactly ideal. We do get side arc on this Berserker. Okay, who else do we move in phase 15? The Orion?
I'm receiving you.
Cool. Okay, so the Orion is also in an awkward position. I think what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to use the Mauler here to rear arc kick the Mjolnir and hope that we don't stray shot our heavy Gausses. I'm going to still fire them, though. Even though they're in minimum range. I think. Yes.
Move order received. Engaging.
That's a successful kick. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Right there. That went well. Okay. So with that being done, the Orion can now pretty safely move in over here and turn like this. We could fire on any of these. Hit odds are best on that Mjolnir, but I'm going to, I think, leave the Mjolnir be for the time being. We're going to swap over from Listen Kill to Deadfire LRM ammo, and we're going to hit this Berserker as hard as we can. Not the Mjolnir, the Berserker. Thank you very much. Side arc. Sadly, we missed the Gauss, but the Berserker is now unsteady. Beautiful. Okay. The Salamander moves next. We are going to sprint the Salamander to here.
Affirmative.
We are going to hit the Centurion rear arc. We expect this to be a kill. Absolutely.
Firing.
And that Centurion is out of here.
Enemy eliminated.
Okay. Next up, we move our Awesome. Just checking where we can get to over here. We can actually just squeak in a rear arc hit on this Berserker. Now, we're going to be turning our rear arc to everybody up there, but that's, I think, okay. Our heavy PPCs are not going to be super impactful at this range unless we turn the field inhibitor off. It's a 50% chance to misfire, and we're not going to hit anybody behind him. So I think we're not going to turn off the field inhibitor. We'll just see how this goes. We hit both of them. That's really nice. So that was all just rear armor damage. We did not penetrate his rear armor. This Berserker has a lot of rear armor, to be clear.
Yeah.
So that's okay. The Corsair is going to move up over here.
On it.
And I think we're going to continue to hit the Berserker and go for a knockdown on it. That will penetrate its rear armor, I think. Yeah, most likely. But it's probably not going to get a kill on the Berserker. So that's just side arc. But that's a knockdown, and more importantly, it'll reserve it back. How much? Only 1 initiative, so it only reserves it back to minus 16. That's sad. The Bull Shark is not amazingly useful at this range, unless we were to melee. Hang on, we should melee this Avatar. This is side arc, sadly, but we can still come in here, melee the Avatar, and just hit it like that.
On my way.
Okay. So the Bull Shark is still able to output quite a lot of damage with that melee. And he makes the Avatar unsteady. And gets some armor shredded off the side there. Excellent.
What's up, bud?
Now, the Madcap Mark II is not able to get into anywhere super side archy. We can position, like, over here and take a look at hit odds. 75%. Honestly, I think going for the Mjolnir is the best option here. We could take out that leg and maybe just straight up kill the Mjolnir. I'm going to Warlord to boost our odds, but let's do it. Okay, so that's a leg destruction.
My armor's melting off.
Oh, you're fine.
Losing armor left and right.
Oh, you're fine too. Okay, so that's a knockdown on that Mjolnir. Now then, the Boar's Head. The Boar's Head is actually going to move over here and hit the Avatar in its side arc. Once again, we're looking to knock him down. So we hit the Avatar, and that's a leg destruction straight up. Beautiful. We're going to fire the LRMs. At this range, they are going to do surprisingly well, but they're not going to penetrate the armor. By no means were they ever going to penetrate the armor. Okay, so that's an Avatar knockdown as well. Beautiful. So we've just about gotten rid of their ambush. That's a Boar's Head out there firing on our Salamander. Gets a little damage in. That's okay for now.
Damage is minor, Commander.
Indeed. We also see a Zeus, a pair of Zeuses, in fact.
Go, go!
But we are not worrying about those just yet. Okay, so they're shooting at the Salamander. That got some decent damage in there. We did manage to hit half of them with our AMS. The Berserker gets up, and I was hoping that it wouldn't be phase 18, but here we are. It's going to go behind the Mauler and try to rear arc it. Okay. It misses its melee, which is actually a very big deal. And honestly, it barely does anything in that attack. That could have been far worse. Okay, we'll accept that. The better play would have been for it to go to the rear arc of the Salamander there. And they're really focusing the Salamander hard. But for now, it's okay. And the Salamander gets to move. The question is, can we get into the rear arc of that Berserker? And the answer is no. The best we can do is side arc, but this looks good to me. We're going to position the Salamander here in cover. And I just want to check hit odds here. We have really good hit odds on the Mjolnir. The Berserker has already moved. We have really good hit odds on the Avatar as well. I'm going to go for the Avatar here. It has more remaining armor. Well, yeah, I'm going to go for the Avatar here because the Berserker has already moved. And we could easily see a kill here. I'm not going to fire the medium lasers for heat purposes, and we're going to hope that we don't shut down here. Odds are low. We're firing straight through our Bull Shark. I like it. Okay. Maybe I should have fired with AX ammo there. But I think it's okay. So, phase 14, phase 13. We get to move a lot of these before they get up. Well, this one will get up. The Mjolnir will get up. We get to move a lot of them before this guy gets up. We'll see what the Mjolnir wants to do. We do get to move one mech here. And that's the Mauler. And we have exactly one option here. And that is, we go for the Mjolnir. And we let our heat sink a little bit here. Do it.
Acknowledge.
We're moving a little bit to get out of the rear arc there, but the Mjolnir is dead, and it never gets to move. That's perfect. We missed the Gauss. We don't care. That is completely and totally fine. Okay. Next. Now, Zeus moves up is not relevant at this moment. The Awesome, at this point, backs off a little bit, like so, to get into the ideal range band of the heavy PPCs. We are exposing rear arc to that Berserker. I'm aware of this. And we're not going to fire this. Actually, we're not going to fire the improved heavy laser here. We'll fire everything else.
Taking the shot.
Nice.
Mech destroyed.
Only one unit
Mech
left.
is overheating.
Oh yeah, you're definitely overheating. There's no doubt about that. That's always going to happen. They're shooting at the Salamander. That's front arc. It should be okay.
Armor holding.
Cool.
Good to go.
At this point, the Madcat Mark II is going to stay exactly where it's at. We're going to fire our MRMs. We are not firing our medium lasers here for heat purposes, but otherwise, let's see what we get in that Berserker. We are basically crit fishing at this point.
Copy that.
Do we penetrate any of that armor? No, we don't. Okay. Well, at this point, the Madcat Mark II can position off over this way, and that's fine. It can ace pilot.
Standing by.
The Corsair is going to want to step forward like this for range band, I think. Actually, we're fine where we are. We're going to turn and fire on that Berserker. Once again, its armor on this torso is really weak.
Okay, I'm on it.
And we do penetrate the armor in the leg. And it's got very little armor left, and it's panicking.
Waiting for
The Orion is going to back off a little. Actually, we do have the Deadfire LRMs. So we're going to position like this.
I'm going.
We're going to crit fish him with the Deadfires. This LRM-20 is jammed, sadly. That was an engine crit, and I think that was a through armor engine crit. A second engine crit there, and a hip destruction into a knockdown on that Berserker. Beautiful. And he actually ejects.
Kill confirmed, Commander.
Excellent. So there's the ambush gone. Next up,
Yes, Commander.
our Bull Shark is going to move up.
Moving to
And
position.
we are looking for targets that are clustered together, ideally. The best that we've got is these guys. They're pretty far apart. That's a Zeus and an Orion. There's also a Boar's Head and a Zeus and a Zeus. So we've got the supporting forces and a support lance. And the elite mech warrior, who we don't actually see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think there are some invisible units here that we don't yet see. We're going to fire on the Orion here and strip off what we can. Okay. Got some armor removal there. Excellent. What was that? That was the Boar's Head. Okay, sounds good.
Hey.
Our Boar's Head is going to turn around, make for the road, and we're also interested in... that's a Sunder over there. I think that these guys are actually more likely to take splash damage than the Orion, so we're going to fire out at the Sunder here. I'd like to strip armor off of him anyway. Okay, so we know there's some AMS over there, but we got some good damage onto that Sunder. Sounds good. Phase 20. They're shooting at the Mauler's rear arc there. Those clustered well,
Not much armor left in that location.
but for now we're okay.
Waiting.
The Mauler is going to turn around and head up the road.
On the move. Full speed.
There we go. Sink that heat on down. Okay. They're shooting at the bad cat. They're not likely to get very much. We need to make for the road and head on up at this point.
Hey there.
That's what we need. So the Mad Cat Mark II is going to just head forward
Full speed, no target.
and sink its heat so that it can actually move next round. That'll be handy. Okay.
Ready for
The
orders.
Orion is going to sprint up to the road,
No shooting.
and it does have indirect fire, and will fire listen kills, and the question is, who do we have best odds on? 25% is currently the best odds. And yep, the Boar's Head is the best.
Confirmed.
Okay. Decent damage there. Not amazing, but,
Yes,
you know,
ma'am.
25% odds. What are you going to do? The Awesome is going to move its way on over and just sink heat. For right now, I'm not going to fire its LRMs. Excellent. The Zeus moves up a bit, moving up the road. It does not fire. It doesn't have LOS.
Ow.
The Boar's Head moves on up. We're going to continue concentrating our artillery fire on that Sunder.
Okay.
Arrow 4 not doing well there. In fact, our missiles in general didn't do well, but that's okay. We did get some armor removed from the Sunder, so that's good. And he's got an LBX AC-20. He's got to get in real close for that. Cool. Okay, so that Zeus kind of running around a bit, firing on the Salamander. Not getting much done there.
That all you got?
Cool. So it is the Salamander that moves now, and we're going to sprint it out onto the road and sink some heat. There we go. Let's see what else they decide to throw at us here. The Boar's Head closes in a little bit. It does not get into LOS. Fires a couple missiles. They're really focusing on the Salamander. Okay.
I'm here.
The Corsair is, of course, going to sprint up towards the road. We don't get any extra distance, but we do get to sink the heat. Next round is when we're going to really start moving. The Orion taking a little damage there from missiles. We don't care. They're not really able to pump out that much indirect fire damage. The Bull Shark is going to step towards the road, and we're going to continue to hit that Sunder.
Acknowledged.
Nice. We've removed roughly a third of the Sunder's armor, and that's a knockdown on the Sunder there. Excellent. Okay. So, I mean, we need to start rounding this corner. That'll happen pretty soon here. We're not the fastest mechs in the business, that's for sure. But we can get there once we need to. I just want to look at this terrain here from this angle. Okay, yeah, the Mad Cat will be fine. They're continuing to focus the Salamander. Barely doing any damage there. Ooh, overcorrected a little bit. There we go. The Zeus has also taken some armor damage. It still shoots at the Salamander. Okay. Yeah, there's definitely other units that we don't see out there.
Orders.
Okay. So the Mauler is going to sprint up the road here.
Roger that.
Okay. We need to get some LOSs going here. Are those follow the leader missiles?
Tipped off.
Because that's a lot of clustering. It's a Berserker out over there. Okay. So if there's a Berserker out over here, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. We're assuming there's another unit, or actually probably 2 additional units over here. Okay.
Confirmed.
So the Salamander is going to start sprinting up the road here. We'll get 3 evasive pips, and I'm going to vigilance it. I want him to stop focusing on that, if we can help it. However, it is starting to look like this will be a bit of a long mission, so I may want to turn this into a 2-parter. We're at about the time to do that, so we're nowhere near ending this mission, in all honesty. We've got a long ways to go here, so we're definitely going to continue this in the next episode. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and I will see you all next time.